MMA Fighting presents Timeline, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Dustin Poirier. January 1st, 2011, UFC 125, Resolution, Las Vegas, Nevada. The 8-1 WEC veteran, Dustin the Diamond Poirier, makes his UFC debut against top-ranked featherweight title contender Josh Grisby. In what was at the time a stunning upset, Poirier defeats Grisby by unanimous decision. Poirier would follow up this victory with another decision victory over Jason Young at UFC 131, Carwin versus Dos Santos.
Was the weight cut, though, easier this time than in your debut against Grisby?
Actually, I think it was a little bit harder, yeah.
Why?
I'm not sure, I've dieted for 4 months hard straight. I've been training my butt off for a long time for this fight. Maybe I put on some muscle, I started a kind of a little bit new strength and conditioning program. I'm not sure, I got here at the exact same weight as I did my last fight. But, the pounds just seemed like they were a little bit tougher to come off.
Why did you feel the need to drop weight classes?
Well, I probably fought 16 or 17 times at 155, but not nearly at the level of competition that the Zuffa organization has to offer. So, I fought twice in WC at 155 and did well my second fight, but my debut fight at 155 in WC, I fought a very strong wrestler, Danny Castillo, and that kind of opened my eyes up. These guys been, at this level, been wrestling their whole lives and fighting there's a different kind of strength these 155ers have.
And now you're probably one of the bigger 145ers, so you can impose your will on the guys. Now you're 2-0 at 145. You had that massive win against Josh Grisby. Where do you place yourself right now in that division?
At the bottom. I'm still new. I'm 22 years old. It's only my fourth fight in Zuffa organization. I want to build my name, build my fan base, and get better. I'm still growing in the octagon. I'm nowhere near middle or higher of the 145-pound division. I'm just a fighter out here trying to get better every fight.
November 12th, 2011, UFC on Fox 1, Velasquez versus Dos Santos, Anaheim, California. Poirier makes his return to the cage against veteran Pablo Garza on the inaugural Fox card. The Diamond defeats Garza by Darce choke in the second round.
You feel as though you've gone into a groove here at 145 with the weight cut. This is the place for you?
This was my easiest weight cut at 145. I came here at a great weight. My diet 3 months out was on point, everything was like clockwork, this time. Got off the plane at the weight I wanted, woke up every day at the target weight. Perfect.
I got to mention, last week I had the privilege to see your documentary that you starred in, Fightful, which was a fantastic film, and I recommend it to anyone out there. For the people that don't know this journey, has this all happened very quickly for you? Because you watched that, and it wasn't that long ago that you were fighting on these small shows. Is this the sort of pace that you thought your career would go? Because right now, like I said, you're one of the top contenders, and it wasn't too long ago that you were fighting in these barnyard shows.
Literally. But it's happening fast, but if you count the days and hours that I put in, it's been a long road, man. I'm alone when I wake up in the morning when the sun's not out and I'm running 3 training sessions a day. I can't sleep at night because I think about fighting. I wake up and watch fights. I watched Pablo Garza's last fight probably 1,000 times with a cup of coffee every morning for the last 3 months, a couple times a day. And I put in the work, man. I'm a hard worker, really. I know a lot of guys say that and whatever. I'm not here to toot my own horn, but, man, I put in the work, and I'm very passionate about this, and I care about this so much. I found something that I love, and I want to be the best at, and that's what I'm trying to do. But, it's happening quicker than I ever imagined it could happen.
January 20th, 2012, UFC on FX1, Gillard versus Miller, Nashville, Tennessee. Khabib Nurmagomedov makes his UFC debut against Kamal Shalarus. Nurmagomedov wins by a rear naked choke in the second round, moving his record to 16-0. Khabib Nurmagomedov would advance steadily, defeating Gleison Tibau at UFC 148, Thiago Tavares at UFC on FX7, Belfort versus Bisping, Abel Trujillo at UFC 160, Velasquez versus Silva 2.
You've won 4 fights in the UFC. You're 20-0. Who makes sense for you next?
Не, разницы нету. Я сейчас не хотел бы кого-то особенно выделять. И кого мне UFC предложат, с теми буду драться. Я готов на все 100, но хотя не исключаю, что мне очень много еще надо работать над боями, потому что я всего лишь почти 6 лет в этом спорте, и много бойцов в моем весе, которые по 10 лет дерутся, и мне еще надо расти и расти.
You know, I'm not really going to call anybody out. Whoever UFC puts in front of me is fine. You know, I've been doing this for about 6 years. I think I feel that I have a lot to improve on. So, you know, a lot of the fighters in my weight class have been doing this for about 10 years. So, you know, whoever UFC puts in front of me is fine.
Pat Healy at UFC 165, Jones versus Gustafsson.
As far, obviously, you're undefeated in your career, undefeated in the UFC. The only trouble you really had is with the scale. Last fight and maybe this one, you looked a little close, but you seemed okay. Are you confident that 155 is the best weight for you?
Нет, пока что я не думал. Мы все профессионалы, и у всех, когда в таких больших делах бывают всегда ошибки. И то, что я в прошлый раз сделал ошибку, я на этот раз исправил. И это не имеет значения, с каким трудом это я сделал. Главный результат.
You know, we're professionals. We do make mistakes sometimes, but, you know, I fixed the mistake. It didn't happen this time, and at this point, no, I'm just going to stick to 155.
И вчера мне исполнилось 25 лет. Джошу исполнилось 35 лет. Может быть, эта победа посвящается ему.
You know, yesterday I turned 25. Today, Josh turned 35. So maybe I dedicate this win to him.
Wow, what a moment right here. So much love.
And future UFC champion, Rafael dos Anjos at UFC on Fox 11 for Doom versus Brown.
Well, did you see anything from Khabib? He's obviously undefeated. He's 6-0 in the UFC. Do you see anything from him that can warrant a #1 contender or a title shot anytime soon?
I don't know. I don't like making those decisions the night of the fight, but yeah, he's impressive and he looks good, and he's working his way there for sure.
Obviously, this was a dominating victory against a very tough opponent, but the crowd wasn't always necessarily approving of it. I'm curious how he thought his performance was tonight.
Ну, соперник был на 5-м месте в рейтинге UFC. И я думаю, что...
Well, I think, you know, I had a very tough opponent. He is ranked number 5. I think I did pretty well tonight, and I think all of top 10 really need to learn wrestling if they want to compete with me.
February 4th, 2012. UFC 143, Diaz versus Condit, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dustin Poirier welcomes a 20-year-old Max Holloway to the UFC. Poirier defeats the prospect by submission in the first round.
I won. I'm living a dream. You know, this is my life, my passion. It's my career. It's amazing. I can't. Whatever I say doesn't do it justice.
It almost seems like every time you come out there, you keep looking better, you keep looking more confident. Is that just you're getting more reps out there and now you feel like you belong in the UFC?
That's exactly it. You know, now I feel at home here in the UFC. You know, when Bert starts yelling in the back, I'm ready, you know. I'm ready to go to battle. You know, the only thing, you know, I come here to fight with my heart and leave it all out there every time. Every time I step in there, I just wanted to show, you know, my hard work. I wanted to show through my performance. So I put pressure on myself to perform well and, you know, show my improvements every fight. And I think I've been doing a good job of it.
So you don't want the title shot just yet?
No, I don't want the title shot just yet. I don't want to, I've said it before, I don't want to sound cliche over and over, but I don't want to build myself up and fall short of the title and then back at the bottom. You know, I want to improve every fight, and when I do get the title shot, I'm going to take it, and I'm going to hold it for a long time. I just don't want it to get there premature and have to work back up to it. You know, brick by brick, it's going to happen. I will be a world champion.
May 15th, 2012, UFC on Fuel TV 3, Fairfax, Virginia. After a 4-0 start to his UFC career, Poirier is booked opposite the Korean Zombie as the main event. Poirier suffers his first defeat in the UFC and loses by Darce choke late in the 4th round. Poirier would rebound with a Darce choke victory over Jonathan Brookins later that year at the Ultimate Fighter 16 finale. However, Poirier would drop his following fight by decision against Cub Swanson at UFC on Fuel TV 7. August 31st, 2013, UFC 164, Henderson vs. Pettis 2, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Poirier returns to action against Eric Koch. Poirier wins by unanimous decision. December 28, 2013, UFC 168, Weidman vs. Silva 2, Las Vegas, Nevada. Dustin Poirier is matched up against Ultimate Fighter winner Diego Brandao. Poirier defeats Brandao by TKO late in the first round. The Diamond follows up that victory by defeating Akira Corsani by second-round knockout. September 27th, 2014. UFC 178, Johnson vs. Cariaso, Las Vegas, Nevada. Originally booked in a potential title eliminator match versus Donald Cerrone, Khabib suffers a serious knee injury during his training camp. The injury would keep Nurmagomedov outside of the UFC cage for almost 2 years.
When will you be ready? You're coming off ACL surgery, so when will you be ready?
Now I'm beginning my striking time, running, lifting, everything. In January, I beginning my wrestling, and my doctor say I can fight April, May. And I think this date for Pat is very good, for me is very good. April, May, June, anytime, anywhere, no problem. Milwaukee, Brazil, Australia, no problem. Let's go, let's do it. I am undefeated.
And there's not a part of you that says, okay, I've been out for a little bit, I want one fight to get kind of reacclimated, to warm up. You don't want that?
No.
Warm-up fight.
My mental ready, my heart ready, my experience ready, I am ready, my team ready, and no one more fight. Let's go. I want title shot, and I deserve, and don't be scary. Don't be scary,
Also on the pay-per-view card, Conor McGregor makes his Vegas debut. He is set to face top 10 ranked featherweight Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Did that just take you over the edge, what transpired yesterday?
Oh, no, not just that. I disliked the guy before that. But, yeah, usually I don't have, not that I love the guys I fight, but I usually don't dislike him this much. I don't like Conor. He's an asshole.
Poirier loses by first-round KO. This would be Poirier's last fight at featherweight. January 2nd, 2016, UFC 195, Lawler vs. Condit, Las Vegas, Nevada. Now fighting at lightweight, Poirier bounces back from the McGregor loss with a victory over Diego Ferreira at UFC Fight Night 63, Mendes vs. Lamas, and Yancy Medeiros at UFC Fight Night 68, Henderson vs. Boch. Now 2-0 at lightweight in the UFC, Poirier is matched up against the last person to defeat McGregor, Joe Duffy.
I'm a lot more mature in my fighting career than I used to be. Normally, I think I would have got burnt out. When I was at featherweight, I would have overthought this fight so much and, just beat myself up for 6 months. But I'm kind of laid back now, man. I'm just more relaxed with who I am, and I'm having fun again. And it hasn't really been a lot of pressure, honestly. I feel this is the smoothest fight week I've ever had, and I feel like it's getting easier.
How do you foresee it going down?
I really feel like I'm going to be smart in this fight and show all of my skills. I can wrestle, man. I can kickbox. I can box. My jiu-jitsu is good. And I want to show all of that. I want to show a well-rounded performance. I'm a different animal here at lightweight, and I'm just evolving as a fighter and as a person, man. I feel great, and there's not a spot that this fight can go that I won't be comfortable, and I'm going to show that.
Poirier wins by unanimous decision.
Yeah, I thought his boxing was going to be good, and it was. I knew he had a good ground game, a lot of submissions on his record. I executed the game plan me and my coaches had. I stayed in his face, put him against the fence, and grinded on him, got him tired, and that was the game plan. Yeah, when I got off the stool for the second round, I couldn't breathe at all through my nose. I just got back from the hospital. It was broken in 2 spots. So, I just did what I had to do, took him down and took advantage of that.
What do you think makes sense next for you?
I think there's a lot of fights out there that make sense, man. My goal was to crack the top 10 last year. That didn't happen with the fight falling out. Hopefully I'll be up there now, and I want top 10 opponents.
April 16th, 2016. UFC on Fox 19. Teixeira vs. Evans, Tampa, Florida. Originally booked as Khabib Nurmagomedov vs. Tony Ferguson as the main event, for the first time in his UFC career, Ferguson is forced to pull out of the fight due to an injury. UFC newcomer Daryl Horcher is set to face Khabib on 9 days' notice.
So Tony's been saying that you're afraid of him, that you're the one that doesn't want. Is it a little strange for you to hear that when you're the one who's here and he's not fighting?
You agree this is a stupid decision. He asked me, after 2 months, this day, May, June, something like this. How we can ask? He injured, he pulled out. I am here. UFC give me fight versus Tony, 16 April, I'm here. Where's Tony? Tony is pulled out? Please, shut up. Shut up. I have fight, Daryl Horcher. I have to focus this guy. I no want to speak about this guy. If you guys have some question about my fight, about my comeback, about my future, you can ask. Please, forget about Tony.
Ariel Helwani post-fight at UFC on Fox 19 alongside Khabib Nurmagomedov, who defeated Daryl Horcher tonight. Khabib, welcome back and congratulations on the win. Can you put into words 2 years later what it's like just to come back and get a victory like that?
I'm very happy, Ariel, because 2 years is long time, and when I come back, now I feel MMA a little bit different, and that's why I changed a lot of things in my game, in my ground game, in my diet, in my training. Like, I changed a lot of things, and tonight I show this.
I don't know if you saw, but Tony Ferguson went on Twitter and said he wasn't impressed with your performance and is again asking to fight you on May 29th. You're not interested in that, right?
Okay, guys, if we talk about this, I training almost 100 days for this fight. Now we have for before 29 men 6 weeks, and you guys want I beginning my sparring session in Monday. You guys want I keep my training camp now?
I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
But this is stupid decision. Nobody do this. I am not cowboy. I'm different. Cowboy lose a lot of time. He can say I can fight next week, something like this. I have goal, belt, and I know and I feel I deserve title shot. And forget about Tony.
Okay.
June 4th, 2016. UFC 199. Rockhold versus Bisping 2. Inglewood, California. Dustin Poirier fights lightweight veteran Bobby Green.
You also recently signed a new contract with the UFC, right?
Yeah.
And there was some talk that you would test free agency, but you didn't do that. Why did you decide to sign before going into free agency?
I had one fight left, and I didn't want the pressure of, you take big risks, you get big rewards. So that was in my head the whole time I was negotiating, and like, maybe I should fight this last one, get another big win, and then I'll be, my wife's pregnant right now, and in 2 months we're gonna have our first child, and I didn't want to go into the last fight of my contract with that on my mind, and that I have to, I have to win this fight to get a better contract, or I'm taking steps back and all that. I wanted to have more security, so I signed the contract, and here we are.
You happy with it?
Yeah, of course I want more money.
Yeah.
But I'm happy.
The Diamond wins by first round knockout. September 17th, 2016. UFC Fight Night 94. Poirier versus Johnson, Hidalgo, Texas. Poirier is booked in the main event opposite top-ranked Michael Johnson. Dustin Poirier has his lightweight winning streak snapped after a brutal knockout 1 minute and 35 seconds into the first round. Poirier would bounce back with a decision victory over Jim Miller at UFC 208, Holm versus Durandamy. November 12, 2016. UFC 205, Alvarez versus McGregor, New York City, New York. Nurmagomedov is matched up against top contender Michael Johnson.
Are you going to fight the winner on Saturday of the main event? Is that your fight? Have you been guaranteed after all of this that you're going to fight the winner?
But UFC promised. I don't know. You know something about this?
With this.
If you know something, please let me know.
I'll talk to you. I'll send you a text.
What do you think? UFC give me title?
You should fight the winner.
Okay, what do you think? I deserve this?
Yes.
Okay.
On the record.
Please, if you know something about UFC, send me directly. Not Twitter for everybody.
Or not through your manager.
Secret something,
Yes.
please send me.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
In now typical fashion, Khabib dominates his opponent with relentless control and ground and pound. Nurmagomedov mercifully finishes Johnson midway into the third.
This is #1 bullshit. I think all Irish fans understand who deserve this. I think I have a lot of Irish fans too, because I dominate with all my opponents, Conor come to lightweight and he talk about, I'm greatest, but you guys know, beginning of the year he tapped like chicken, end of the year he fight for the title. This is very interesting. I talk with Dana between every rounds. I talk with him, I say, hey, don't send me no more your fake contract. I need real contract. He talk about, you have to finish this fight. I say, already I deserve this. You have to send after this fight the real contract. I say, okay, let's go finish this. After I finish fight, I talk about, I'm waiting for agreements. Maybe Brooklyn, why not? 209, 11 February, 210 in Las Vegas. Anyway, it doesn't matter, like Russia, Ireland. I can fight with him his backyard. I can fight with Nate Diaz, Conor McGregor, Eddie Alvarez, with all these guys same night. I can fight with these guys. like common event, main event, backyard, backstage, anywhere.
March 4th, 2017, UFC 209, Woodley vs. Thompson 2, Las Vegas, Nevada. For the third time, Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov are booked to face each other as the co-main event. The stakes this time are much higher, with an interim UFC lightweight champion belt now on the line.
I want to stay honest with you guys, but of course I'm excited about this. I can't wait when cage close. I wanna feel his power. I wanna feel his striking speed. I wanna feel this guy, because we're supposed to fight 2 times before. Now we finally fight. That's why. Little bit nervous, but everybody nervous. Nobody want to lose. I have a 24 win streak. You guys think I wanna lose? Of course I don't want to lose. But I stay focused. I stay focused on this guy.
Hey guys, if you check your emails, we did just announce that the Khabib-Ferguson fight has been canceled. Khabib has been released from the hospital, but he was not medically cleared to fight due to weight management issues.
Breaking news, as you just heard it, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, one of the most anticipated fights of the year. The fight that both combatants called the best lightweight fight of all time has officially been canceled. UFC lightweight Khabib Nurmagomedov was transported to Sunrise Hospital and Medical Center Thursday evening due to weight management medical issues. He was treated and has been discharged. The scheduled interim lightweight championship bout between Nurmagomedov and Tony Ferguson at UFC 209 has been canceled.
May 13th, 2017, UFC 211, Miocic vs. Dos Santos 2, Dallas, Texas. Poirier is matched up against former UFC and Bellator lightweight champion Eddie Alvarez.
As far as this matchup is concerned, I mean, he just fought in one of the biggest fights of all time against McGregor at MSG, loses in dramatic fashion, then comes back with you. Were you surprised when they gave you Eddie? This is it's a high-profile fight, right? What was your reaction?
Well, I was gonna chill out for a little bit and hang out with my daughter and stuff, and then I told him I was gonna come back a few months later, unless they had a big fight for me, and then they ended up coming up with Eddie's name, and I was like, let's go, I'll fight whenever. This is a great opportunity for me, He's one fight removed from being the world champion, like you said. I go out there and finesse Eddie Alvarez on Saturday night. It shows the world the caliber of fighter I am.
In the highly entertaining bout, Alvarez and Poirier fight to a no contest due to an illegal knee strike by Alvarez.
I'm dying to get your thoughts on the Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier fight, because for the second pay-per-view in a row, a bit of controversy surrounding an illegal knee. This time, Alvarez lands 2 illegal knees here in Texas. They have not adopted the new rules, so all you need is one hand on the ground, if your knee is on the ground as well, in order for it to be illegal if the strike lands. And that was the case for Dustin Poirier. But referee Herb Dean, he decided that the strike wasn't intentional, so as a result, he ruled it a no contest. This has been hotly debated, controversial. Some think it should be a DQ. Eddie should have lost. What do you think should have been done?
I personally think it should have been a DQ. I don't feel strongly about it, and I wouldn't argue against the no contest. But the justification for the no contest is interesting to me, right? Because it's intent. It's all intent. He says that's an accidental knee, but when he says that, he doesn't mean that he didn't mean to throw the knee. He means that Eddie didn't mean to throw an illegal strike. And at that point, we're just predicting what's in Eddie's head, and we're getting into a weird gray zone. But just in general, the one thing that stood out to me for that fight, I mean, I do the Pros React column for our website, and if you look at the Pros React column for that fight, most of it were professional UFC fighters, all of whom were saying, I don't know the rule, more or less. There was people saying that's legal, there were people saying that's not legal, there were people saying they just didn't know what it was at all, and they didn't know the rule. And I think that's more telling than anything, that we need to get this figured out.
Poirier would bounce back from this no contest with a main event victory over another former UFC champion, Anthony Pettis, at UFC Fight Night 120 in Norfolk, Virginia. December 30th, 2017, UFC 219, Cyborg vs. Holm, Las Vegas, Nevada. Khabib Nurmagomedov's next opponent is top contender Edson Barboza.
Have you been told that if you win this fight, you will fight for the belt?
Yeah, I talked with UFC, I talked with Dana. Dana told me you have to make weight, beat this guy if you want to fight for the title, and I agree with him.
And are you really considering going down to 145? I know you said that earlier, or are you just joking with reporters?
No, I'm not joking. I am serious about this. But first of all, I have 2 fights in lightweight. Like Edson and Tony. I want to finish this business, and after we're gonna think with my team what we're gonna do. But I am already thinking about this.
You say Edson and Tony. Why not Conor?
To be honest, I don't believe he ever come back.
Period.
But maybe when money is done.
Okay. When he runs out of it.
But he's smart businessman, Like I think he have money, and to be honest, like 50-50. But I don't think about him.
In one of the most dominant decisions in UFC history, Nurmagomedov tyrannized Barboza for 15 minutes.
After first round, I tell him, hey, Dana, you wanna talk with me? He say, yes, let's go. And I think about, let's do this one more round like this. And after I wanna say to him something. And after second round, I tell him, what do you think about performance? He say, I'm sure you're gonna take this. And I wanna enjoy when I go to the cage. I wanna enjoy. And when I almost take back Edson Barboza, Mark Henry told him, hey, don't give him back. And I told Mark Henry, hey, you're right, don't give me back. I'm a little bit talking to, this is not trash talking. This is real deal, And I enjoy with that. And that's why I do this. I'm interesting for fan base because I grew up in mountain, I'm coming from nowhere. Like people need, who this guy with headgear, like nobody understand what it is. Like people interesting, and he go into the inside the cage, he smash everybody, he's 25 and all. Who this guy, world champion, like everybody talk about him. Where he from? Russia. But originally he's not from Russia, he's from Caucasus. Where from? Is Dagestan. Where he from born, he born from mountain, he wrestling all his life with bears, this guy is crazy, People think about this. That's why I'm interesting. This is my opinion. And I agree with this. And I agree, and I'm gonna keep going, inshallah. I'm gonna keep going, keep smash my opponents and take this belt. And my dreams, retired, undefeated, undisputed UFC lightweight champ, becomes one of the greatest lightweights of all time. This is my dream, and I follow this. And that's why I think people interesting about me.
April 7th, 2018, UFC 223. Nurmagomedov versus Iaquinta, Brooklyn, New York. For the 4th time, Tony Ferguson and Khabib Nurmagomedov are set to face each other. This time as the main event at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York, for the UFC Lightweight Championship.
UFC 223 is less than 24 hours away, Danny. I feel like I need, at least for the audience and maybe for both of us, let's try to run down the timeline of events that got us to this exact moment, all right? Buckle up for this one. Last Thursday, 8 days ago, Tony Ferguson on the Fox lot in Los Angeles, doing interviews, the Colin Cowherd show, tweaks his knee, ends up being a serious knee injury, may or may not need surgery. But what we found out 3 days later to be exact, on Easter Sunday, was that the knee injury was serious enough to rule him out of UFC 223. The original main event for Saturday night's card, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Tony Ferguson, for the 4th time now, had been canceled. So the UFC went into emergency mode. They reached out to Eddie Alvarez. They reached out to Brian Ortega. In the end, though, they reached out to Max Holloway, and he took the fight. Well, Max Holloway, who is the reigning defending UFC featherweight champion, had some weight to cut and was also getting over a pretty serious ankle injury. Of course, he was supposed to fight at UFC 222, and he suffered a serious ankle injury in February, and that ruled him out of the Frankie Edgar fight. He was hoping to return in July, but of course he took this opportunity. Okay, so we start taking that in on Monday. Tuesday, Holloway, Khabib are here. We're starting to hear reports about how much Holloway is weighing. He's cutting weight. We get to Wednesday, and we spoke at the press conference on Wednesday. It's an amazing scene in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. They're going back and forth. It's fun. But we did talk about the fact that maybe Max Holloway looked a little bit out of shape, breathing heavily. But okay, we're hopeful that things will, resolve themselves come Friday.
Thursday, UFC holds its media day inside this very arena, the Barclays Center here in Brooklyn. It's about to wrap up. Everyone's happy with their content at the face-offs. It was a great day. And we got some good interviews. Ally Quinta, by the way, didn't have a sign. He drew a nice little Raging Al sign, getting ready for his Paul Felder fight, of course. And then we get word that Conor McGregor has arrived. And Conor McGregor is here with around 10 or so of his close friends, teammates, training partners. And then we find out that Conor McGregor and his team went to the loading dock, which is essentially underneath where we're standing right now, and they've surrounded one of the fighter buses that is holding the red corner fighters like Rose Namajunas, Khabib Nurmagomedov, Ray Borg, Michael Chiesa, Ally Quinta, Karolina Kovacevic, and others, and pandemonium ensues. Chairs are thrown, dollies are thrown, guardrails are thrown. Michael Chiesa suffers lacerations on his face as a result of an object that is thrown. The window, he's sitting inside the minibus, and he is sent to the hospital later on and eventually ruled out of his fight against Anthony Pettis. Ray Borg has glass enter his eye, suffers multiple cuts on his cornea, goes to the hospital. He is then ruled out of his fight against Brandon Moreno. Rose Namajunas, who is fighting on Saturday against Joanna Jędrzejczyk, she is visibly shaken. She is emotionally distraught, but she decides to stay on the card. Well, tons of footage emerges. It's very clear what happened. It is not a good scene for everyone, including Conor McGregor and some of his friends. All right, we get to Thursday night. We get to around 10:30. Conor McGregor turns himself in. He does so with a friend of his, Keen Cowley. They both turn themselves in just a few blocks from here, 78th Precinct in Brooklyn, New York, and they're both facing multiple charges. They stay overnight in police custody at the 78th Precinct. Friday morning, they are transported to the Kings County Courthouse just a few blocks away here in Brooklyn. In the meantime, while Conor McGregor is literally being transported out of the police station in handcuffs, the UFC 223 official weigh-ins are going on. And what is happening during the weigh-ins? We get word, first off, that Max Holloway has been deemed medically unfit to fight, pulled from UFC 223. So now Khabib Nurmagomedov loses another opponent. Then we find out that Anthony Pettis, who was not planning on fighting after Michael Chiesa was ruled out of his fight, is going to show up, make weight, and attempt to fight Khabib Nurmagomedov on 24 hours notice. Anthony Pettis shows up. He weighs 155.2, and then we start to find out that he's not going to come back to make weight again, and there might not be a title fight. He might not be on the card. Negotiations go awry. Anthony Pettis is gone. Then we find out that the UFC has called upon Paul Felder, who's scheduled to fight Ally Quinta. However, the New York State Athletic Commission says, we don't like this matchup because of the rankings discrepancy. Paul Felder can't fight Khabib Nurmagomedov tomorrow night. And then we find out that Ally Quinta, New York's own Ally Quinta, is taking this fight on 24 hours notice. The lone New York-based UFC fighter, certainly the most popular one, who has yet to fight in his home state after everything he's been through. Raging Ally Quinta, a disciple of Matt Serra, who 11 years ago tomorrow shocked the world and defeated George St. Pierre at UFC 69. Raging Ally Quinta is now fighting Khabib Nurmagomedov on essentially 24 hours notice. However, he weighed 155.2 with his underwear. So we find out that Khabib Nurmagomedov is eligible to win the official lightweight title, but not Ally Quinta. Fast forward to the ceremonial weigh-ins just moments ago inside this arena, and Dana White announces that the UFC will recognize Ally Quinta as the champion if he pulls off the impossible and beats Khabib Nurmagomedov, sort of a people's champion, if you will. If you didn't think that the lightweight division title picture was confusing enough, it just got a hell of a lot more confusing. And in the midst of all of that, Conor McGregor emerges at the courthouse at around 3:30 or so Eastern time. He is arraigned. He is set free on a $50,000 bail, which was put in by Dylan Dennis, of all people. His training partner, Keen Cowley, also released on a $25,000 bail, and they are set for their next hearing on June 14th back here in Brooklyn. So, UFC 223 now will continue with 9 fights. It started with 13. It had 13 as recently as yesterday. It's now 9 fight deep. And the main event is Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Ally Quinta for the UFC lightweight title. We think. That's what we're told.
Right.
Khabib Nurmagomedov would go on to dominate Al Iaquinta and become the new UFC lightweight champion.
Did the events of Thursday make you more or less interested in wanting to fight Conor for the title at some point?
Yes, why not? Hey, we have to finish this beef chicken or something like this. He have to stop eat Burger Kings and you wanna fight? Come. I told you guys, we're gonna make him humble. I told you guys, I'm gonna change this game, and now only one champion. No more fake champions, no more champion who never defend his title or something like this. Now UFC have champion, and this champion wanna defend his title. You wanna fight? Come here. Inside the cage, come. Outside the cage, let me know, without camera, without like all this media or like this, like man, like he come when a lot of security here, outside the bus, inside the bus, security here, don't let me go out. Like he tried to, hey, come out like this, like, why you need this show up? Like, let me know, and that's it. Anytime.
April 14th, 2018, UFC on Fox 29, Poirier versus Gaethje, Glendale, Arizona. Poirier is booked in the main event against top-ranked Justin Gaethje.
Is there a certain level of mental preparation you have to go through too, and sort of conditioning yourself with a guy like Justin? Eddie talked about it before, of like steeling himself, like knowing that he's going to go into a war type of situation.
Yeah, like I know there's going to be some times in this fight where it's going to be tough. I'm going to have to dig down. That's going to present itself. It might present itself often. I don't know, but I'm prepared mentally for whatever it takes. Like I said, I'm willing to leave a piece of myself in there to get the victory Saturday night.
In a fight of the year contender, Poirier defeats Gaethje by KO early in round 4.
Thiago Alves, before we walked out there, said when he gets too happy with that leg kick, let's plant and throw something down the middle. And that's what we did, but I took too many of them. There's no, even if that was the plan to sit down and take shots, I need to absorb them better or change my angle to where they're not flush and lifting my body off balance and stuff like that. I need to make some adjustments on my end. Honestly, this whole camp, I expected him to throw outside leg kicks. So I watched the Michael Johnson fight a few times, and he was switch kicking a lot. And he really didn't throw a whole lot inside on Michael Johnson. And that's what I expected. So it was just a different fight than I thought it was going to be when it comes to leg kicks. I want to fight for gold, man. I'm not chasing rematches with Conor, rematches with Eddie, rematches with anybody. That's not my goal. My goal isn't to get even with these guys. My goal is to prosper and be a world champion and make money and retire and say I did it. I just want to go to sleep with that belt around my waist one night and tell my wife I did it. Well, years and years ago, like in 2006, my wife I didn't have a car. She would drive me to weigh-ins. We would sleep in broken down motels, and then I would fight the next day, just me and her, And I just want to say I did it, man.
July 28, 2018. UFC on Fox 30. Alvarez versus Poirier 2. Calgary, Alberta. Poirier is once again booked in a rematch with Eddie Alvarez as the main event.
It's happening. It's happening. I'm excited, man. I'm grateful every morning I wake up happy and grateful that I'm here, that Eddie's here, that we got him here, and that we got 25 minutes to find out who the better man is.
In a wildly entertaining and violent fight, Poirier defeats Alvarez by knockout 4 minutes into the second round.
Weird thing is, man, when I had the guillotine, he was trying to drive up my body. He stuck his finger in my ear and was pulling my head down, and the ref warned him, and then he put his finger right back in my ear. So, this is an old dog who knows a lot of tricks, and I don't want to say somebody's a dirty fighter, but first fight you knee me, second fight you try to elbow me illegally, and you give me a wet willy. We got to draw the line somewhere.
Thanks, Dustin.
Even though he stuck his finger in my ear tonight, man, he penetrated my ear. I still respect the guy now, because we spoke out back after the fight. and he said a couple things to me that, you know, I respect the guy.
October 6th, 2018, UFC 229, Khabib versus McGregor, Las Vegas, Nevada. After a nearly 2-year absence from the UFC, the former two-division champion, Conor McGregor, is set to face the lightweight champion, the undefeated Khabib Nurmagomedov, as the main event for UFC 229 at the T-Mobile Arena.
They were chased from their land. They were chased from their land to the edge of cliffs. My family, my bloodline, the McGregor clan, we stood and we fought. We fought the English Empire. So much so that our name was banished for 100 years by King James at the time.
Okay, why you guys change your language?
Shut your mouth.
You guys have your own language. What's wrong with you? Now you talk about you guys fight with English Empire. Hey, talk English.
I can speak Irish, mate. I can speak my native tongue.
I can talk with you.
I
can talk with you. Oh,
you know what that means? Can I have a shoy on the bus?
But Ireland have their own language. What's wrong? English change your language?
Just for Dana real quick, the decision to put the Conor bus incident from Brooklyn into the promos for this fight, what was that decision like? Was that tough? Was there any consideration about not doing that?
No.
Not tough at all. It's part of the storyline. It is what it is. There's been other situations where things have happened leading up to a fight and you play the story the way that the story played out.
Conor, you thought it should have been in there in the promos?
No comment.
When Khabib, same question. You're on the bus and you see all this going on. What is going through your head?
Nothing. You know, this is show his weakness. He showed me his weakness. He think when he with 40 people.
I showed you my bare hands. First thing.
Okay,
here's my hands.
Like
no weapons.
205.
Get off the bus, mate.
Okay, 205. You guys remember
when
we
doing all these actions
backstage?
Here I am with no
He was very nice guy.
With no
Guy,
weapons.
but when he come with 40 people, he a little bit changed. But this is show his weakness. Me and him is gonna be alone. 6 October, and that's it.
The Chechen people know what I'm talking about when I call this man a coward. When I call his father a quivering coward.
Which Chechen?
Him and Kadyrov were at a mosque together, and he posts a picture of Kadyrov on his Instagram site. Kadyrov is the Chechen dictator, a crazy man. Don't get me wrong, but Khabib's father, lick arse oh fucking Houlihan, posts a picture of Kadyrov at this mosque, and Khabib's father posts a picture up, and the caption is "Together we are stronger." It's such fake respect out of fear. The Chechens know. The Chechen people know that if the tables were turned and there was an opportunity for his father to stab that man in the back, he would do it in a heartbeat to take over. And he did not do nothing, and that's why he is a quivering coward, because he showed fake respect out of fear, and that's where that came from.
I don't know what his father teach him, but my father teach me you cannot never give up and be respect always. This is what my father teach me. And
Shut your mouth, mate. You're a dirt box. You're absolutely dirt. Your last fight was embarrassing. Your last fight was embarrassing.
I am most
We were
active
laughing in the Brooklyn
and
lockup.
dominant UFC
we were laughing in the
champion right
cell
now.
in Brooklyn at
This is my third fight in last 9 months, you know, and 26-0, never lose round. And I don't know what this guy talking about. I don't understand what he gonna do 6 October. He think whiskey gonna help him? I don't understand.
Shut your mouth. Ali Abdulaziz, mad terrorist. Terrorist snitch. I know a lot about you as well, you mad rat. I know a lot about you as well. You keep your mouth shut, kid. Let me take my picture.
What's up, guys? 3 p.m. Press conference is beginning. I am not wait for nobody. Let's go. If you have question, I'm here.
I mean, what's your emotion right now? The biggest star in the sport, all these people wanting to see Conor, and he's not here. I mean, what's your take on that?
Listen, man, I'm excited. I can't wait for the weigh-ins. I can't wait for the fight. And Conor's in a car right now. He's on his way here, so he'll be here in a few minutes. But yeah, I'm excited. so far so good. Everything's been perfect, and I'm ready for the fight, man.
No, I don't think about him. You know, I have a schedule. 3 p.m. Press conference has to begin because I have schedule. I have to make weight. I have to worry about myself. Why I have to think about him? He come or not? If somebody late, this is not my problem.
Brooklyn happened 6 months ago, almost exactly 6 months ago. Are you still angry about what happened then?
Little bit. If I say no, this is not true. Little bit, of course. I'm angry, a little bit emotional, but my job when I go to the cage, I have to control my emotional. I have to stay relaxed, but keep going and maul this guy.
Does the anger help you?
Sometimes this happens. Sometimes this help you. Sometimes it's not. But most important, stay relaxed when you go to the cage. This is most important. Tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm gonna show you my weight and see you tomorrow, guys. Have a good night.
Khabib, what does this fight mean to you to defend your title tomorrow night against Conor McGregor?
Hey, first of all, I want to say Alhamdulillah, God gave me everything. Alhamdulillah, I know you got this, don't like this. Alhamdulillah, tomorrow night, I'm gonna smash your boy, guys. I'm gonna smash your boy. And
Nurmagomedov would finish McGregor by submission 3 minutes into round 4. After the victory, Nurmagomedov would climb and exit the cage and attack McGregor's cornerman, Dylan Dennis. After being restrained by security, Khabib would be escorted off the arena floor without an official hand raise from the referee.
I don't understand how people can talk about I jump on the cage, you know. What about he talk about my religion, he talk about my country, he talk about my father. He come to Brooklyn and he broke bus, he almost killed couple people. What about this? What about this shit? Why people talk about I jump over the cage? Why people still talk about this? Like, I don't understand. I am my father teach me, hey, you have to be always respectful. My old team, where I'm training California 7 years, everybody know who I am. All my friends, like everybody who know me, they know who I am, you know? And I told you guys, these guys, not only him, his whole team and him, they tap machines. You know, I told you guys, when you put him wrong way, he gonna tap. You know, what happened today? Like, they call him 2-time world champion, like 2 weight classes, but today he tap. And that's why, alhamdulillah, belt is here, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. And you know, and I wanna say something like, you know, like people little bit, it's not people, I think it's media. Media a little bit change MMA. This is respect sport, you know. This is not trash talking sport. This is respect. So like I told you before, guys, I want to change this game. I don't want people talk shit about like opponents, talk shit about his father, like religion. You cannot talk about religion. You cannot talk about nation. You know, guys, you cannot talk about this stuff. And you know, this is for me is very important. And thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you for waiting for me here. I know my father gonna smash me when I go home because I know he's gonna smash me. And Nevada, sorry. Vegas, sorry. And alhamdulillah, undisputed, undefeated UFC lightweight champion. Thank you so much. And I'm very proud about, like, all media talk about, he take picture with Putin, something like this. He just called me and he said he very proud of me. I win. And he said congratulations. And you know, I told you guys, everything I'm gonna change 6 October, and I do this. Alhamdulillah, thank you so much.
Khabib, can you talk about the fight before the brawl?
The biggest night ever, and I couldn't be more disappointed. You know me, I'm usually mad at everything, you know, but I'm not even mad. I'm just really disappointed.
Dana, you said that the bus incident was disgusting. The press conference was the darkest press conference ever. Today, you're disappointed. Do you regret using the bus footage, which kind of incensed Conor? I mean, looking back to kind of how it ended up right now. Would you do the same again?
I would.
Okay.
It's part of the story.
Yeah.
Do you feel, Dana, if you had taken action after the bus incident, like the legal process took place,
No.
but you were adamant you weren't going to do anything, had you suspended Conor for X period of time, that you don't think that would have had any deterrent
Had nothing to do with
impact?
that. He wasn't coming back and saying he wants to jump over the fence because we didn't suspend Conor. Jumped over the fence because Conor's guy was talking shit to him.
No, understood. But don't you think that just the fact that it set the tone, like it allowed that to happen, if there had been some
Do you have any idea how much money it cost Conor?
I don't.
The whole
but
thing, that it's fucking millions of dollars.
But the
Millions.
signal, like Khabib doesn't know that, or Khabib's team doesn't know that, and so
They
I guess
know that.
The argument, the point I'm making, not an argument, I'm asking you a question, would be, it's a deterrent effect. If you say you look in the NFL or wherever, they suspended guys for a period of time, it serves as a deterrent to not other people to not do that same thing. And I guess that's what I'm saying. Had you taken some action on the UFC part, he violated the code of conduct or whatever you want to say he did, would that not have maybe prevented some of the heated stuff that happened this promotion?
I would, listen, we didn't, so I don't know, but I would say no.
Khabib Nurmagomedov is given a 9-month suspension and fined $500,000 by the Nevada Athletic Commission. April 13th, 2019. UFC 236, Holloway vs. Poirier 2, Atlanta, Georgia. For the first time in his UFC career, the featherweight champ Max Holloway will go up in weight to rematch Dustin Poirier. However, this time the stakes will be much higher as the winner will be crowned the new interim UFC lightweight champion.
I have a lot of respect for the guy, and as a person, I remember when I beat him, he came to the locker room after and started talking to me, asking me, I guess he read somewhere that I cook a lot and stuff. He's like, so you cook and stuff? He was just a normal, down-to-earth kid, man. Really, really good guy. And we kind of spoke a little bit at UFC 199. We both fought. He fought Lamas, I fought Bobby Green that night. At the media day, we kind of talked a little bit, and it was good catching up then. We've never had any animosity towards each other, and like I said, I have a lot of respect for this guy, and I understand how good he is. He's on the pound-for-pound list for a reason, and I'm just excited for the challenge,
The Diamond defeats Holloway by decision to become the new interim UFC 155-pound champion.
One time my mouth was bleeding and I spit on him. And the ref said, hey, you can't spit on him. And he said, like he knew I didn't do it on accident. I didn't aim at him, but it just might have hit him. Man, it's a fist fight. You might get some spit on you. When I hit him with a good shot, he would say that was good, or start clapping. When I kneed him in the face and before he started bleeding, when he picked his head up from the knee, I saw the gash and I said, gotcha. And then it was a battle, man. Yeah. There were a couple times he hit me with some good shots. It looked like I was fatigued, but I was hurt a couple times against the fence. I just pull myself together, keep my feet under me, and keep believing. Like I just had to have a second with myself. Like those thoughts creep in, and I got to tell myself, don't talk to me like that. And that's what it was.
Yeah, were you surprised at Max's durability? He took some heavy shots from you.
Yeah, I was surprised I hurt him that quickly in the first, and it looked like his legs were definitely gone. He took a couple steps back and started wobbling. And I've seen a lot of Max's fights. I've never seen him really hurt like that. So I went a little crazy trying to put him away, which has got me in trouble in past fights. But the guy's so tough, man. This was my 40th fight tonight, and there's only been 2 fights that my hands, they're going to be swollen and hurting tomorrow. There was a Gaethje fight and now Max.
September 7th, 2019, UFC 242, Khabib vs. Poirier, Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates. The undefeated lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov will return from his suspension and defend his title against the interim champion Dustin "The Diamond" Poirier as the main event for UFC 242.